From Halloween to New Year's, oh my goodness, it is tough to stick to a healthy diet with all the tempting sweets and treats and big meals and all those holiday gatherings. Christina El Khoury, a dietitian with Cone Health Nutrition and Diabetes Education Services, is here today to give us practical ideas to stay on track and enjoy the time of year without overindulging. All right, so of course Halloween kicking it all off, right? All right, so we're talking about some strategies to enjoy the candy, but not overindulging in all the candy.
Yeah, I would say like if you have a lot of candy laying around the house, like let's say you keep a candy bowl, go ahead and put it in the pantry so it's not just visible all the time. And so if it's kind of put away, you're a lot less likely to just pick on it throughout the day. And of course, like here and there, if you want a piece of candy, no worries.
That's right, here and there, I like that. Just don't be sitting down every single day and going, oh, I think I'm gonna eat 7 or 8 bits of candy today. Okay, gotcha. All right, so for what about the days and the weeks that follow? Because advice on how to prevent it from turning into like a month-long sugar treat binge is kind of tough.
Yeah, so I would say like if you're making a lot of sweets, maybe you're making a lot of cakes, stuff like that, and you're keeping it on hand, freeze whatever's left over. Whenever we have things hanging out on the counter, just like with the candy bowl, we're a lot more likely to just kind of mindlessly snack on it. So freeze it, give it to friends, and then just kind of like try and get back onto your regular eating pattern after these big events and holidays.
Okay, well, I'm curious about your next answer to this because I do this. Any kind of food or beverage that might help offset the sugar cravings. When I want something sweet in the afternoon, I give myself a little cup of coffee and it keeps my sugar at bay.
If we're noticing that we have a lot of sugar cravings, it might just be a sign that it's snack time. So like middle of the day between lunch and dinner, it might have been a couple hours since we ate lunch. So it might be a good idea to go ahead and have a snack that has some fiber, some protein in it, and you'll probably notice you're not having as big of a craving for those sweets.
Is there help with that?
Just being hydrated with water. If you want something extra, maybe having a little fizzy water, bubbly water can be nice. It's still hydrating, but kind of can give you that, fizziness that a lot of people want from like a soda.
Right, and kind of wakes you up a little bit. All right, Thanksgiving and the holiday season are, of course, right around the corner from Halloween. How important is meal planning, especially this time of year, and how can it help us stay on track?
Yeah, this is a super busy season. So if we're not prepared, if we don't plan ahead of time, we're a lot more likely to go out to eat, grab fast food, stuff like that. So make sure you have like your regular grocery day, having these things on hand, we're a lot more likely to utilize them. I like to say like if we can at least cook 2 to 3 nights out of the week and we make enough for leftovers, you've covered 4 to 6 nights out of the week as far as eating at home goes.
Right, and that certainly helps out instead of grabbing something quick and not making a really good choice. Okay, what are some ingredient swaps that maybe we could consider that would make some of those traditional dishes just a little bit healthier?
Yeah, and a lot of baked goods, you can swap applesauce for oils or butter. You can definitely reduce the sodium if you're trying to watch sodium. And in most baked goods, pastries, cupcakes, muffins, stuff like that, you can usually reduce the sugar by 1/3 and get a very similar, if not the same product that tastes the same without all the sugar in it.
Okay, reduce it by 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if something has 1 cup of sugar, then you might be able to do 2/3 cup of sugar, and it won't affect the integrity of the baked good.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. With the abundance, again, of the sugary desserts at upcoming celebrations and gatherings, what are maybe some lower sugar alternatives to like our classic desserts, that we normally would serve?
Mm-hmm. Of course, like you could potentially make like a fruit salad or something like that. But as far as like the seasonal tastes, maybe baked apples or baked pears that have some cinnamon in them. You could also kind of like what I said with the other baked goods, reduce that sugar. Let's say you're making a pumpkin bread, a banana bread, you can definitely cut down on the sugar in most recipes.
Okay, let's kind of switch gears about not as much what we're eating, but like how we're eating things. So I've been reading a lot about the whole mindful eating thing.
Yeah, so being mindful while eating is really important to make sure that we're truly listening to like our body's hunger and fullness cues. Eating away from distractions, having good conversation during meal times. Holidays can be stressful, I know, but if we're mindlessly eating kind of while watching the TV, we're a lot more likely to overeat. Sometimes people will even use strategies like placing the fork down in between bites to make sure that we are eating slowly and listening to our bodies.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So we're going to kind of continue on this whole thing of mindful eating, healthy eating. How can we make sure that we last through this holiday season? We're going to be talking more about that when we come back from the break.